Hey guys, welcome to the first of a series of tutorials I'm going to be doing on JavaScript. Now this first tutorial is just going to be a basic tutorial. We're just going to create some elements and we're going to use JavaScript to access them, um, and we'll show you how that works. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump over to a HTML document. Now in this document we'll just have a HTML file called index.html and a JavaScript file which is called func.js. So we need to link this file. So what we need to do is we need to open the script tags and close the script tags. And with HTML5, I don't believe you need the type, but I always like to use it anyway just to be on the safe side. So the script type is going to be text/JavaScript. And we also need to link the document. So we link that by using the source identifier. So we source, and because it's in the same folder, we're just going to go ahead and just link it by its file name. Now we can go ahead and test that by jumping over to the document, and we use the inspect element. Now you can either right click and use inspect element, or you can use the F12 to bring up the console window. Now we need to go over to the element tab, and we just need to confirm that the file is linked. I always like to do this just so if any issues occur where your functions are not working or you can't access a variable from JavaScript, then we know that it links correctly. It didn't actually give us an error. I'll show you what happens when it actually can't find a file. We'll actually tell you, well, Chrome is pretty good anyway. It will tell you that it's unable to locate the resource that it's after. So we need to go back and change that. So we're gonna create a few HTML elements so we can use JavaScript to manipulate them. So we're gonna go ahead and now I'm gonna be using a form of generating HTML, which I believe is similar to Zen code. I forgot what it's called. I believe it's called Emmet, which is I use. I will do a tutorial on that, on setting up Sublime and changing themes, etc., etc., etc. So if you want to learn to use Sublime, I'll definitely create a tutorial for that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a div with an ID of wrapper, and we're going to create another div within that div with ID of content, and we're going to create a paragraph tag, and within the paragraph tag we're going to create a bold tag. So what we're going to do is basically go, this is a, and in bold tags, this is the paragraph, and we're going to jump over to our HTML document and make sure that code is generated correctly. We'll just put a quick space between that just so it looks right. Now we have these HTML elements. If we go again and inspect, we can see that they're definitely available. So we can use JavaScript then to manipulate them. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to jump over to a file. We're going to jump into our JavaScript file, and we're going to declare a variable. Now in JavaScript, to declare a variable, you need to use the syntax var. So I'm going to var wp equals, now this is the function we use to source a DOM element by its unique name. So document dot get by ID. Now just to clarify, JavaScript is a case sensitive programming language, so please be careful when you type. And just to double check, because I've run into many issues when I was learning JavaScript, just by not checking and double checking that my syntaxes are correct. So we're just going to reference the ID, and what we're going to do is we are going to put this in a function. But before I do that, what I'll do is I'll go over to the our console within Chrome. Now, if you're using Firefox, Firefox has their own console. If you're using Internet Explorer, I haven't really done much inspect element in Internet Explorer, but I believe they would have some sort of console where you can actually mess around with the browser. In this case, we're going to be messing with JavaScript. So we're just going to use a console to run this JavaScript code. Now notice that when we run this code, we get a result. What it basically brings back, it brings back an object, which is our div tag with ID of wrapper, the unique ID of wrapper, and then obviously you can within the body of the wrapper tag you have your content, and then within the content you have your paragraph, and then within the paragraph you have your bold tags. So basically that's how the DOM works. You access a specific object, and then you can use methods or additional functions to manipulate it however you like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go across here, and because we can't access this element directly when the document loads, simply because when the document is loading, these elements are not specifically available right away. So for example, if I'll show you what I mean by that, is if you go across and we use a function called console.log. That basically is a function to log the output within the console window of the browser. And we're just going to use WP. Now this will return a value of null, simply because it couldn't find this document or this div tag, this entity, when the document was loading. So what we need to do to rectify that is we're going to use a function, and we're going to call the function statically from within the paragraph tag. Now we do this by referencing the identifier function. We call it function log elem. See the capital there? Just make sure that you either copy and paste this within the HTML element, or you just make sure that it is case sensitive, because once again, I can't stress enough how much hassles that's put me through in the past. So we're going to function log element, and we're going to encompass this all within the function here. So function WP, which contains the object of wrapper, and then we're going to use the same function here, which is console.log, and we're going to do the same thing, but in this case we're going to use a method attached to the document get element by ID function, which is called inner HTML. Basically what that does is it returns all the inner HTML within, let's bring it up here, within this bag. So it basically gets this object and gets every single piece of HTML, including the contents within there. So we need to call this specific function. Now for testing purposes, you can do it this way, which works as well. You can do it from the console. So if you're doing if you're developing and you don't want to statically assign it to the DOM, if you don't want to assign it to the DOM directly, for example, you would do this from within the bold tags. You would go onClick equals a function, which is log elem. If you don't want all these functions standing around, you would just use the console just to test that it works. Now that's a bit more on the advanced to intermediate stage. We'll definitely get into that at a later stage, but for the time being, we're just going to use we're going to call the function, which is log elem, and we see we get a result. Now you can do other things. For example, we can also alert alert the same contents to the browser. So log elim basically brings up alert window with the contents of the inner HTML. So JavaScript is very powerful if you know how to manipulate the DOM correctly. You can use it for many things. You can use it to apply styles, CSS. You can use it to check forms. You might notice, for example, when you go and register a site, you fill in a form, and if you don't have the correct amount of let's say you don't have the right case sensitive and numeric plus a certain amount of characters for your password, it will not let you submit the form. That's JavaScript in working there. Basically what it does is it checks it before it sends it through to a server-side programming language for processing to enter into a database. So it basically just basically does it from the browser side or the client end before it sends it to the server, so less stress on the server there. No, I believe that's all we have for this tutorial. Now, I forgot to do one thing. We could test what I was saying before. For example, you wanted to statically assign a function to the bold tag, so use the onClick equals elim or log elim. And we'll go ahead and test that and just to see what I mean. Unclick log elim, refresh. See what I mean? Just even to this date, I have typos. So that's what I mean. You can actually assign a click function to call that specific function, which would have the alert the contents to the screen. Now that's all for this tutorial. I'll see you for number 2. Have a good one.